This is a quick video that's covering how to navigate this course. In Blackboard on the left-hand side, you're going to have a list of links, and they're going to be grouped into the following groupings. The first one will be called Getting Started. Inside there, you'll have a link called Course Orientation. You definitely want to click on that. That's just an overview of the course itself. The next link you're going to have is the Syllabi and Schedule. Very important that you click into that link. The first thing will be a schedule that will show the entire semester schedule, everything that's going to be assigned, when it's going to be due, all the dates, all the times. Very important that you check out that schedule. I also have a general information page that I need you to read. It's just the general information that you need to know about the WCC policies and other information regarding the college and this course. Then I have specific course information. This is information and policies that are specific to this course. And then some WCC resources, and that page is actually helpful because there's a lot of resources this college has to offer, and students just aren't aware of them. So I want to make sure that you are aware of the resources that you have available to you at WCC. The next grouping is called Communication. The first link is the announcements. Any announcements I send out will be in the announcements area. The next link is the instructor contact. That's the contact information for the instructor. The next link after that is the online meetings. I will be scheduling online meetings with you once the course gets on the way, and we'll figure out when would be the best time to do them. And then the final link there is email, which you really don't have to use email through Blackboard at all. You can email me through any email client that you want, and I'll just respond to that email client. The only way you can email me is through my WCC email address, but whatever client you use is perfectly fine. The next grouping we come to is the course materials, and in here we're going to have all the materials for the course. The first link you have there will be the learning modules, and there's going to be 15 learning modules. When you click on the learning modules link, you're going to see whatever modules have been open for you. A new one opens up every single week. When you click inside the module, you're going to see an overview, which pretty much tells you what that module is going to be about, what you're expected to do, what you should get out of it. And then you're going to have a schedule. I'll link off to the schedule. That's the same schedule I just talked about. Very important that you do keep mind of that schedule because that's when everything's due, when everything gets assigned. So I make sure that you have a copy of it on every single module so you can access it very easily. And then you have the readings, and the readings will actually link you off to separate web pages that cover that specific subject. And at the bottom of most of them, almost all of them, I'm going to have a little area that says additional readings. And this is where you can get more information about the specific thing I'm discussing, which are usually HTML elements or CSS properties. And it links you off to the MDN site, which has even more information on there if you need it. So if my notes don't seem to fill in enough of the blanks for you, you can actually reference those as well. And that could be very helpful to you. After the readings, you're going to have a couple videos that I've made that are just kind of relevant to that particular module. Not every module has the videos in them, but most of them do. And then, of course, after that, you're going to have some lynda.com videos. I've created a playlist of a lot of lynda.com videos that you can watch. They're going to help reinforce some of the concepts you've just read. Don't skip the readings and just look at the lynda.com videos. That's not going to be a good idea. Okay, you want to make sure that you do everything. So do the readings, watch the videos, and then, of course, do the lynda.com videos. It's all designed to be inclusive of each other, not individual. And after that, you're going to have a quiz that you have to complete by the due date that's listed on the schedule. Okay, after the quiz, you're going to have the assignment, and the assignment is, for at least the first 6 assignments, is a web page you're going to build, or a website, I should say, of about 7 pages. So each assignment builds upon the last one, and they're pretty much the main assignment that you're going to have to do for this entire course. And then after the assignment, you have the labs. Labs are more focused. They're focused on the actual direct material there. They're smaller than the assignments by a long shot, and they're good practice. The first lab starts at Module 3, so if you don't see it in Module 1 and 2, that's okay. Then you're going to have 4 discussions you need to do. Make sure you do the first discussion in Module 1 because that helps to verify your attendance. And then you're also going to have discussions in Modules 4, 8, and 13 that you're going to need to do as well. Now, all these things are graded. So everything that you see here, your quizzes, assignments, labs, discussions, they're all graded. The next link underneath the learning modules is the additional material. And in the additional material, I have a folder called web-related stuff. And inside of there, I have two links, one to the HTML and validator, and the other one to the CSS validator. And I also have a link to an HTML starter template where you can copy that code and paste it into an editor, and that was actually all the things you need to start building an HTML page. It's just a nice way of just doing a simple copy and paste and get started instead of having to write all that stuff from scratch. But of course, you can write that from scratch if you want to. The other folder in there will be some study questions. These are just some study questions that are for you. They're about 120 questions in there, and as you go through the course, I would highly advise you go through those questions and see if you can figure out the answers to them. It's going to help you a lot with the final exam. It's also going to help you a lot with just understanding the material overall. So the study questions are not something that you have to do. They're not something I'm going to grade you on. It's really for your own self-evaluation. And then, of course, the final link there, we have the code renderer application, and that's best if I demo it. So I'm going to kind of go away from the slide for a minute and demonstrate the code renderer application. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how the code renderer works. This is the code renderer application right here. This upper window here is where the HTML will go, so you can just put in whatever HTML you want to here. And then the bottom one down here, that is where you put your CSS, and then whatever you enter into these boxes will be displayed in this output window right here. So let me give you an example of how that works. If you go over to one of my lessons are full of examples. There's literally, well over 100 examples throughout the entire course. And the examples are there for you to use and to see what happens. So, for example, if you were going to go to this one particular example right here, you could just copy the HTML that's written for you. So let's go ahead and I'm going to copy that, go to my code renderer here, and I can just go ahead and paste it. Okay, so there that is. And then I can go to the CSS right here, and I can do the same thing, copy it here, go to my code renderer, and paste it there. And as soon as it pastes it in, you're going to see that my images have shown up and it's working. And this is what the code renderer is supposed to do, is it shows you, hey, when you add this HTML and this CSS, this is how it's going to look in the browser. And of course, you're going to read the lesson on what this actually is. But the other nice thing about the code renderer is it updates in real time. So for example, on this top one right here, if I was going to add some more text, so I'm just going to put add more text here. You can see that as I added more text right here, it actually added it right there. Okay, so that was kind of nice. And the CSS works the same way. So say this little sheep right here, I want that sheep to go center top. I can change that to top, and now the sheep is up to the top. So what I'm trying to show you is that whether you're changing something in the HTML or changing something in the CSS, it's going to display whatever you change in real time. It's that responsive. So it's a really great tool of putting small snippets of code in and seeing what they do, and especially to experiment with them. I get a lot of questions from students, well, what if I do this or what if I do that? Well, open this thing up and do it and see what happens. It's just a really great tool to use. So when I teach face-to-face, I use this every single time I teach. So I hope that you guys make full use of it and really take those code examples I give you, plug them into this thing, and really understand what they do, change them around a little bit, play around with them. That is how you're going to learn. You're going to learn a lot by doing that. So anyway, that is the code renderer application. Okay, in the next link, I just have some graded activities, and that's going to be the discussion boards. Of course, you also have assignments, you have labs, you have quizzes. All those are graded activities as well, but those graded activities are in your modules. In this particular area, it's just another link to the discussion boards that already exist in your modules. It's actually probably best if you don't really worry so much about this graded activities area and just focus on everything there in your modules. It's going to work out much better. And just to conclude here, I want to talk a little bit about how to be successful in this course. This is, not a very difficult course, but a lot of students do struggle with it. And the reason they struggle with it are for the reasons I'm going to discuss right here. And the very first reason is don't procrastinate. The number one reason why students fail this course or don't do well in this course is because they wait to the last minute and try to rush through it the night before. That's a recipe for disaster. It's never going to work. They can't do it. Okay, don't do that. Instead, schedule things wisely. Okay, schedule your time throughout the week so you can be able to do all the coursework. That includes the readings, watching material, doing all the assignments, labs, discussions, and quizzes. Plan your time out throughout the week. You should plan at least 12 hours per week. That's what I suggest. I did my entire master's program online through Boston University, and it was very tough. It was 7.5-week concentrated courses. And the way I got through it is I just stayed on top of everything, and I scheduled my time wisely around my work schedule and life schedule. So just, schedule your time throughout the week so that you can say, okay, this is the block of time that I have reserved to work on Web 110, and you'll do fine. Again, stay on top of things, all right? I would highly suggest you have everything done 48 hours before it's actually due. A lot of students don't wonder why I would say that, but I cannot tell you how many students have tried to submit something at the last minute and the browser times out, or the server, I should say. They can't submit it, then they're emailing me and they're saying, I couldn't get it in on time, and my answer is too bad. I don't accept late work. I don't tolerate any of that type of behavior. So if you're going to take an online class, I'm giving you fair warning now. Stay on top of things. Make sure you get things done. Make sure you get things in plenty of time. Okay. If you schedule everything out to where you have, you'll be done, 40 hours before it's actually due, then you're going to do fine. Okay. You're going to do absolutely fine. So I would highly, highly recommend that. I tell that to all my students, and, maybe 2 of them actually listen to me, and all of them should. Read all the lessons, do all the examples, and watch all the videos. Do all the work. Again, make sure you understand the material that's being offered. A lot of students, they won't read everything, or they skip over it, or they try to do everything at the last minute, or they think they can just watch the lynda.com videos and they're going to be fine, and it won't work. Okay, do all the work. Again, it goes back to the number one thing. Schedule your time, and you'll be fine. Okay, make sure you can do it. Ask questions on what you don't understand. Feel free to email me and ask me questions on what you don't understand, or when we have go-to meetings, you can attend those and talk to me directly then. This may be an online class, but it doesn't mean that I'm not here. Okay, the whole point is that you're able to do this in your time, but you can still communicate with me. That's the whole point. So please, if you have a question about something, you don't understand something, ask. The more that you don't ask questions and you kind of wander through this stuff, the worse it's going to get. So make sure you understand it, okay? And so you can always ask me questions on anything you don't understand. And that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to kind of walk you through the course a little bit, let you see how it's laid out, kind of get an idea of what's expected, and then just cover how to be successful, because it's really, really important. Well, welcome to Well 110, and I hope you have a great semester.